What really inspires me is just trying to create something that no one's ever seen before, or that I've never seen before, or that I've never seen done before. So that's what I try to do with my fashion. Hi, my name is Caitlin, and this is my wave. When I was younger, my grandmother taught me how to sew when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and she gave me some fabric, a set of sewing needles, and she actually gave me my first sewing machine. So I was able to learn from her how to sew, and it was just like just something that she wanted to teach me. I didn't really know a lot about it. I wasn't really into it as much. But as I got older, I actually started getting really into it, and so I developed a style of my own. The reason I came into the style that I have was from looking at other people that would just walk on the street, or looking at what people designed and seeing how they went outside the box with what they did, and seeing how they wanted to push the limits and push out the conventional thoughts that people would have before, and bring in something new, like bring light to something that maybe wasn't ever thought of before. The Tacky Shack was mainly created because I would make all of these clothing just because I had these ideas in my head. I try to make it right away, or else it'll just sit in my head forever. And there's this one quote that says, "A vision's not a vision if it's in your head. If it's in your head, it's good as dead." So I want to be able to create those pieces and get them out there into the world so that, I don't know, maybe it'll inspire someone else, like other clothing has done for me. So basically what I make, I put on the Tacky Shack, and people can buy it if they want. They can just view it. It's kind of more of a gallery of what I've made, of a portfolio, than, for anything. It is definitely very difficult to have my company and be in school at the same time, because in school I'm learning the proper sewing techniques and the proper serging techniques and how to use different materials and different parts for the sewing machine. So it takes up a lot of time, and then to go home and try to make a costume in like the short amount of time I have between work and school, it's difficult for me to put in that creativity when I'm using it all in school. There are a lot of good places in the area that I shop around at. Avalon Exchange is a really good one. It's like Plato's Closet, where they buy in clothing, used clothing from their customers, and then resell it in order to make money. And they have a lot of really cool vintage pieces for cheap. Also, there's this really cool thrift store right next to my house called Treasure Hunt Thrift Store. And what she does is she goes to estate sales and buys out all the clothing, and then sells it in her little shop. And it's really cool because sometimes it's like really old lady stuff, and it also can be really brand new, like a fur coat that would normally be $100 that she'd price it like $5. So her spot is really cool to find a lot of steals. My process for making an outfit, I'll wake up in the morning and I don't want to wear anything in my closet. I'm just like bored of it. So I'll just say like, hey, what can I make today that I feel in the mood for? One day I woke up and I made a purple fluffy tank top with like a lace up the front, just because I thought it looked cool, and I only wore it that day. But yeah, and for costuming, it's different because you have to research the costume, and if it's from a show or a movie, you have to research that to get the sort of feel for the costume and the area around it, so that you get every detail right, and the customer isn't like, oh, well, that should say this and not this, because they know the world of the costume, not me. So I have to do a lot of research for that, figure out what they want, and then I do a fitting for them, get their sizes, and then I go fabric shopping and I get costume pieces for that, and then just build off of those into creating the look for the character, and then do another fitting, a final fitting for them, and then give them the costume. Probably my favorite one that I've made is a Cindy Lou Who costume last Christmas for this customer. I think it's my favorite because that's one that I made completely from scratch, and that's the first really big project that I've completed by myself and on my own. So it's just really cool to see how I've been progressing and how I can finally, do what I've always envisioned. that I would be able to do. The future that I see for the Tacky Shack is eventually I want it to be a standalone store, anywhere really. And I want to have just one of each item. That's it. I'm only going to make one of each item. And I want to fit it to the customer. So it'll be like generic size clothing in the store. And then I'll have like a little sewing room off to the side where we can like tailor them in, make it fit them the way that they want to, tweak it a little bit if they want to, because I want it to be unique, and I want it to be able to express themselves through the clothing that I make for them. So it's like a combination, like me and them coming together in a piece of clothing. I just want it to be a creative outlet. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know if I'll like merge with other people, but I just want it to be a place where I can put my designs out there and have them be seen by the world, and maybe inspire someone else off of my clothing like they did with me.